Hey everybody, today we're going to cover cleaning beer line. One of those things that's not so exciting, but very, very necessary in order to ensure that you're serving your homebrew at its best. So how often should you be doing this? Well, uh, it's recommended that you should run caustic, like PBW, through your lines every couple weeks. Um, for us homebrewers, where it might take a month or more to finish off a keg, just do it every time you switch out the keg. And then on top of that, you may also want to run some acid-based line cleaner through maybe every couple batches or so, at least every 3 to 6 months. And what that does is it helps remove deposit beer stone that can build up in the line that the caustic won't clean out. It actually contributes to that problem. This process can actually be kind of a pain without the right materials. So let's cover what makes line cleaning a lot more convenient and easy so that you don't end up avoiding it. This is a custom widget that I built. It's pretty simple to get the parts for. So on one end, on the right-hand side, we have a cam lock connector, and this is what's going to go on the pump. Going to pump PBW into the line. On the left-hand side, I have an adapter that goes from the silicone hose to a female NPT, and then that NPT attaches to a beverage side ball lock. Same thing that you have on your Cornelius keg for beverage out. So this gives us a way to get PBW into our line without having to unscrew or dismantle anything in the keg. We can just take our existing line on the beer out, connect it to this, and pump PBW through it. Here's a close-up view of that connector. And the reason I wanted to show this is to point out that it is really important that you use the correct connector. There are two different ones, two different ball lock connector types. One is your beverage out and one is gas out. The one on top is beverage out. Now, the one looks a lot bigger than the other. That's really just camera perspective distortion. They're actually pretty close to the same size. The difference that you need to look for is those markings on the bottom one. So the bottom one is the gas out, and it has these ticks that you can see just above that bottom gasket. The top one, the beverage out, does not have those ticks. And you want to make sure that you connect the correct one. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult, if not impossible, to get the beverage out connector on there. Here's the pump that I'm using. This is a utility pump. These are pretty inexpensive. I think maybe I paid 30 or 40 bucks or so for this. I've attached a RV hose to it, a pretty long one. I use this for all sorts of things, not just cleaning my beer lines, but also for running up to my CIP ball on my fermenter to clean that. So I like to have a nice long hose on there. And you can see the cam lock attachment on the end there. So let's see this actually in action. Okay, so just plug one end into our beverage out that was going to our keg. And then the other end into the pump side. And the pump is down there just sitting in a bucket of PBW. And we'll just grab a bit of 1/2-inch silicone hose, put it on the end of our faucet to recirculate it back into the bucket. Be sure to open up the faucet. That's it. Okay. You want to make sure and run that PBW through for about 20 minutes and maybe longer if you have a really dirty line. If you haven't cleaned it for a while, maybe go 30, 40 minutes. Just recirculate through with the pump. And then once that time is up, you're going to want to replace that bucket of PBW with water and recirculate that through to rinse it for just a couple minutes. 5 minutes should be plenty. The question does come up, should you also run sanitizer through the line? I don't think that is necessary, especially if you're going to put another keg on right away. If it's going to be a while, yeah, sometimes I will store the line with some sanitizer in it instead of leaving water in there. Sometimes I'm concerned, maybe certain types of faucets, if everything you have is not all stainless, if you have plated metals in your system, I do kind of wonder about the acid beginning to eat away at that. So maybe consider instead just rinsing it with water, leaving that, and if you want to give it a quick rinse with sanitizer before putting on your next beer, that's fine. All right, so that's it. Happy beer line cleaning. Click subscribe, and I will see you next time.